Ladies and gentlemen, States is about to enter one of the most complex and severe weather periods since the beginning of this fall season. A large-scale storm system is forming and moving from the Great Plains toward the northeast, bringing a series of extreme phenomena, including powerful winds, large hail, and even tornadoes. At the same time, the tropical Atlantic and the Caribbean Sea are coming alive again, with two new disturbances. One of them, located in the central Caribbean, has been flagged by meteorologists as potentially developing into a tropical depression or even a tropical storm in the coming days. If this system strengthens, it could significantly impact parts of Central America or even the Gulf Coast of the United States. At present, the core of the main low-pressure system is centered over North Dakota, covering almost the entire Great Plains. This is a very broad and deep cyclonic system, producing strong winds stretching from the Texas Panhandle all the way to Minnesota. As this low continues to move northeastward, it is drawing in abundant moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, fueling the potential for strong thunderstorms across the central and southern plains tonight. However, the real hotspot of this weather pattern begins tomorrow, when a second low forms over the desert southwest, crosses the Rockies, and intensifies rapidly as it moves into the central U.S. These two systems, occurring in succession and interacting with strong upper-level winds, will create an extremely dynamic weather setup, producing the risk of widespread severe storms. According to the U.S. Storm Prediction Center, SPC, tonight, Friday, the risk of strong storms is rated as marginal, level 1 of 5, across parts of central Oklahoma through western Missouri, including Oklahoma City and Kansas City. Thunderstorms may begin forming between 5 and 7 p.m. and strengthen through the evening. The main threats include wind gusts of 55 to 65 miles per hour, 90 to 105 kilometers per hour, moderate-sized hail, and frequent lightning. Although the tornado risk is low, residents are urged to remain cautious if traveling outdoors. Today marks the first phase of this extreme weather sequence, an important time for residents to check alert systems and prepare for much harsher days ahead. On Saturday, the situation escalates sharply. The region stretching from northeastern Texas and Arkansas through southern Missouri to southern Illinois will face a much higher severe weather risk. The SPC has issued a level 2/5 slight risk alert covering nearly all of Arkansas, as well as parts of Louisiana, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Illinois. This is expected to be the most dangerous day of the week. From midday through the evening, a long line of thunderstorms, hundreds of kilometers wide, will form, capable of producing destructive winds of 60 to 75 miles per hour, 100 to 120 kilometers per hour, large hail, and scattered tornadoes, particularly across southeastern Missouri, western Kentucky, and central Tennessee. Some forecast models even suggest that Arkansas could be upgraded to an enhanced risk if storms organize more strongly on Saturday. In detail, during the morning to midday hours, discrete, supercell storms will develop across western Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma, potentially producing large hail and isolated tornadoes. Between noon and 3 p.m., these cells will merge into a long squall line stretching from central Illinois to northeastern Texas. During the afternoon, this main line will sweep across southern Missouri and northern Arkansas, accompanied by powerful winds and embedded tornadoes. By evening, the system will gradually weaken as it moves into Tennessee and Mississippi, but pockets of heavy rain and lightning will persist. Meteorologists emphasize that the greatest danger lies not in the number of tornadoes but in the widespread damaging winds, capable of toppling trees, damaging roofs, and causing extensive power outages, especially in open plains. Residents are strongly advised to follow weather alerts and identify safe shelter locations ahead of time. Saturday could prove to be a very dangerous day. By Sunday, as the storm races eastward, it will strengthen further and heavily impact the Ohio Valley and the northeastern United States. States such as Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and parts of New York will be at the center of the action. The most dangerous window will be from around 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., when a fast-moving line of intense storms is expected. Forecasts indicate wind gusts over 45 miles per hour, 70 kilometers per hour. Heavy rain, intense lightning, and the potential for a few brief tornadoes. Outside the main storm zone, the Great Lakes and Midwest will also experience strong gradient winds between 40 to 60 miles per hour, 65 to 95 kilometers per hour. Residents are urged to secure outdoor decorations, especially Halloween items, and avoid parking vehicles under large trees. Once this first system moves out, a second low-pressure system is expected to develop over the Dakotas on Monday. Although it may be comparably strong, it will have less warm and moist air to work with, meaning the severe thunderstorm threat will be lower. Still, gusty winds and sharp temperature contrasts between warm and cold air masses will bring periods of showers and blustery conditions early next week across the Midwest. Northern areas like North Dakota and Minnesota may even see their first light snowflakes of the season, a sign of winter's approach. Though accumulations will be minimal, if the system dips farther south, some strong thunderstorms could reappear across Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. After these back-to-back storm systems, conditions should temporarily stabilize across much of the U.S. by mid to late next week. A large dome of high pressure will settle over the east, bringing cooler, drier air and sunny skies from Wednesday through Thursday. However, medium-range forecasts already hint that by Thursday or Friday, another low may form over the Four Corners region, where Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah meet. This could become the third storm in the current series, potentially bringing renewed showers and gusty winds across the south-central states toward the weekend. By region, the West and Rockies, scattered thunderstorms through Saturday, especially across Colorado and New Mexico, with small hail or light mountain snow possible on higher peaks. The Southern Plains, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, the hardest hit area, scattered storms and strong winds tonight. Widespread severe weather with damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per hour, and possible tornadoes Saturday. Lingering gusty winds Sunday even after storms diminish. The Midwest and Ohio Valley, the main storm line arrives late Saturday into Sunday, bringing heavy rain, lightning, and isolated tornadoes. The Great Lakes and Northeast, fast-moving storms sweep through Pennsylvania and New York Sunday, reaching New England Monday, with strong winds, up to 45 miles per hour, 70 kilometers per hour, in Maine and Vermont. The Southeast and Florida, warm and sunny through the weekend, highs 30 to 33 degrees Celsius, mid-80s degree F. Turning cooler early next week as a cold front moves south, bringing scattered coastal showers. Meanwhile, over the Caribbean Sea, after nearly a month of relative calm, signs are emerging that the tropical season is far from over. The National Hurricane Center, NHC, is currently monitoring two areas of potential tropical development. The first, in the North Atlantic, has low chances of formation and poses no threat to land. The second, however, is a tropical wave moving westward across the eastern Caribbean and is more concerning. Over the next 2 to 3 days, it's unlikely to develop, but between October 21 to 23, as it enters the central Caribbean, with sea surface temperatures above 29 degrees Celsius, higher humidity, and weaker wind shear, it could strengthen quickly. Meteorologists outline 3 possible scenarios. The system curves eastward, bringing only heavy rain to the Lesser Antilles. It tracks westward into Central America, causing flooding but sparing the U.S. mainland. The most dangerous, if it turns northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico, where warm waters could fuel rapid intensification. Although no scenario is certain, forecasters warn that the Caribbean remains an unreleased energy zone this late in the hurricane season, meaning any new cyclone could strengthen rapidly. Residents in Florida, Cuba, Mexico, and Central America should closely monitor updates in the coming days. The sudden weather volatility across the U.S. this October is being driven by a sharp shift in the jet stream pattern. After months of relative stability, the upper-level winds have now developed deep troughs and strong ridges, allowing warm, moist air from the south to collide directly with cold air from the north. The result: powerful storms, strong winds, and wild temperature swings. Experts also note that the Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO, is entering a more active phase, enhancing tropical storm potential across the Atlantic and Caribbean. In other words, both the continental U.S. and surrounding tropical regions are becoming unstable at the same time. In summary, over the next 7 days, the U.S. faces an intense sequence of weather events. Friday, scattered thunderstorms in the Central Plains. Saturday, the peak of severe weather, strong winds, hail, and tornadoes. Sunday, damaging winds move into the northeast. Monday to Tuesday, a second system brings cold air, gusty winds, and light snow north. Midweek, brief calm under high pressure. Late week, potential third storm developing in the southwest. Simultaneously, the Caribbean could see a tropical system forming by late October. Residents are urged to stay informed, follow local weather alerts, and prepare for rapid changes. This is a week where vigilance and readiness can make all the difference. That concludes tonight's weather report. We will continue to bring you updates on the evolving double storm pattern and the Caribbean disturbance as new data becomes available. Wishing everyone a safe evening, stay alert, and stay prepared for whatever nature has in store.